review doing today. This video is going to be for those of you either interested in or that purchase the WiiWare games and or virtual console games. Now, generally you only get the WiiWare games from me unless you request to have the virtual console as well, because the virtual console games are pretty much the same games that are in all my retro games that play through WiiFlow. So the difference is 10 gigabytes of space for the just the WiiWare games, or 18 if you get the WiiWare and the virtual console. Okay, so now they only play through USB Loader GX, so we're going to go in there. So we're going to give you a little bit of information on how they run, as well as just a little scroll through for those of you that are interested in the WiiWare games, just to show you what comes with it. Okay, now we're inside USB Loader GX. You will most likely, if you have Wii and GameCube games, unless you ordered only WiiWare games from me, it will come up with Wii and GameCube games. Okay, so you want to go up here to, this is the little selector right here. You want to select that one, and you want to either add EmuNAND channels, or you could check off Wii and GameCube and add just EmuNAND. Now NAND, I would just leave this disabled, excuse me. And the NAND channels are the channels that are on your home screen. So like Homebrew channel and WiiFlow and USB Loader GX, all those kind of channels are the NAND channels. So I would just leave that one unchecked and select EmuNAND or emulated NAND channels. I'm going to say OK. Now if this is the first time your system is reading this, and this may take up to a full 5 minutes for it to read it. You'll see it'll be just like this. It may take a minute, or it may take up to 5 minutes for it to read them. So just be patient and let it do its thing. It may flash up like this a couple of times, and there you go. You'll see the number 728, or I believe there's I don't remember, 400 and something if you do the WiiWare games, just the WiiWare games. Okay, so now if you got the I Want It All from me, or just about any of the biggest consoles, you'll most likely get just the WiiWare games, because most of the virtual console games I already have through all my other retro games. Okay, alright, so let's just test a WiiWare game. I know this one's really popular. Now your console may be over there doing some blue flashing lights, going crazy. Just ignore it. It's just reading the game. And as you can see, the game works absolutely fine. There we go. Saving, please do not touch the power to reset. Okay. I like this game. My kids really like it too. Very, very simple, but hard at the same time when you start to get a little further. All you do is jump, but it gets more and more difficult as you go on. Alright, okay. Obviously I can't sit here and play games, or this video will be crazy long. Okay, now like I said before, I've noticed that a lot of these don't work with the Wii regular power cord on. Okay, let's try a virtual console game. And since I have my Wii to HDMI on right now for video recording, so the video's in a high quality video, I can't play any of the NES or SNES games right now because they won't work with it. Also, I want to mention I have not tested every single one of these games, okay? So now if you do have a game that's very important to you, you can send me a message before you buy it, and I can check that game or games for you to make sure that they work. There's also another way that almost guarantees that they'll work, but it takes a little bit more effort on your part to install them. Okay, so let's find a virtual console. Here, let's see. Turbo Graphics. Let's do this one. And there we go. I don't think I've ever played this one, so I don't even know what to do in it. Normal game. So the Turbo Graphics, the select button is almost always the plus button on the Wii remote. Oh, and there's also a couple of N64 games in here. You have to have a GameCube controller to play them or they won't work. So as you can see, the games work absolutely fine. I'm not going to sit here and play it. I want to just do a quick scroll through on here just to show those of you that are interested just what games come included. Okay, let's go back in. If you get the WiiWare only from me, you may want to look into my video, my preloader video, and it'll show you how to install a file that will load you directly into USB Loader GX. So that way every time you exit a game, it'll just automatically take you back to USB Loader GX. You don't have to go back to the home menu and then back into USB Loader GX every time you exit a game, okay? Now again, it's going to read the content, so give it a minute to read what's on there. It's going to do this every single time you enter USB Loader. It's going to read what's on there, so it takes a minute or two. Alright, now another thing I like about this is the Wii 64, the Nintendo 64 emulator on the Wii is very picky, and only a couple of games, I think I have 117 or something, I only have 117 or something like that, but anyway, those are like the only ones I can find that work, but on here, all the Nintendo 64 games work really, really well. Let's see if we can find one. 64. Let's see, Super Nintendo. I think there's only a few on here. I'm gonna have to look into how to make these. I don't remember how to make these, but I could take a lot more 64 games and make them virtual console games. Let's see, NES. Oh, here we go. We got a 64 game. Now again, you're only gonna be able to play this with a GameCube controller. So if you don't have the ports and you don't have GameCube controllers, or a classic controller it says, then it's not going to work. Just give it a minute to read it. Yeah, the games work absolutely flawlessly in this. I know there's a couple of games that do not work in the Wii 64 emulator that work great on here. Like Yoshi's Island, I think. Is one game that does not work in the 64 emulator, but does work in here. So again, I'm using the GameCube controller. Okay, I haven't played this in so long. I don't even remember what to do. Oh man, I suck. Alright, okay. I'm gonna go out though. Can't make a hour-long video of you guys watching me play. There's plenty of YouTubers that do that. Alright, Okay, let's just do a quick scroll through here. Try to get my finger off of it. See, there's some Neo Geo games. There's NES, SNES, TurboGrafx, 64. Lots of WiiWare. I believe it's every single WiiWare. I'm not going to say that for sure because I don't know. I haven't sat down with the list yet. But I believe it is. I know I'm going pretty fast, but it's almost 800 games. I can't go really, really slow. But again, if you have a game that's super important, just send me a message and I'll let you know if I have it or not. There's some more 64 games. I know everybody loves Nintendo 64. Look, there's all the Metal Slugs. Those are my absolute favorite Neo Geo games. A lot of the really popular Neo Geo games too. All the Sonic games. There's all the good Mario games. Super Smash Brothers for Nintendo 64. Here's all the King of Fighters games, which I know are really, really popular. Zelda games, all the Zeldas. Uno, I used to play that a lot when I was a kid with my grandmother. All the Yoshi games. Art of Fighting. Art Style. I know these Bit Trip ones are really, really popular as well. And I think we're back to the beginning where we started. Yep, I remember playing Bomberman. All the Bonks, too, are really popular. Carmen Sandiego, I remember watching that show. And this one is really, these two. I gotta get a cover for that one. Oh, it's because it's right here. Okay, so I gotta delete that one. But anyway, so these Castlevania ones are really sought after as well. Contra. I love the Contra too. I think. Let's see, all the Donkey Kongs. The really old Donkey Kongs and the newer ones. SNES. Dr. Mario. WiiWare. I like WiiWare Dr. Mario. Me and my daughter are big Dr. Mario fans. Fatal Fury, Final Fantasy, Frogger. Okay, now I know we're back at the beginning again. Alright guys, so thank you so much for your purchase or your interest, and have a wonderful day.